There's a cop ahead of me, so I have my ATLAS enabled so I can avoid getting in trouble with the cops. Following the law, dude, in 25 miles per hour. This is magic. Look at that. Isn't this amazing? Autopilot for the Vespa.
So let's see what we got here on the box. This video is actually sponsored by ATLAS. Thank you so much for sending this out so we can test it out on the Vespa and show you guys how well this thing works. I've never seen any throttle lock system that works as good as this one. I wouldn't even call this one a throttle lock because this is more like a cruising control, but without being digital, you know, like the newer bikes. This is gonna be like the same mechanical lock system that any other throttle lock works, but this is gonna still give you control over your throttle while you can still, you know, take your hand off and have some comfort. So it's pretty interesting because I've never seen a throttle lock that can actually provide you with some sort of control while still holding up your throttle, and this is gonna be like the way to go. This is actually really interesting. I'm pretty curious to try this out on the Vespa. Let's crack this open and see what we get. Put a little note here. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing the videos you make using the ATLAS. Also can't wait to hear how the Scooter Cannonball rally will go. Reach out if you have any questions. Best, Shelby. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Shelby. I really appreciate it. See, we got the two ATLAS here. Let me just get rid of this box. Haha, look at that. They sent some stickers for the Vespa. And there we go. Here are the two versions that they have available on the website. They have a full black version and they have a nice looking chrome polish. I'll probably go with the black one since I don't have any more chrome on my Vespa. Thank you so much for sending all this, man. I really appreciate it. Let's crack this open and see how we're gonna install it on the Vespa. So let's get into it. This is actually really interesting, man. Like, I'm really curious to try this out. Now look at that, we got more stickers, got some Allen keys, some screws in there for the installation. We're gonna take a look at that when we install it. So they have a little visual installation instructions, and they also have a step-by-step on how to install everything. Actually really simple, you know, it's nothing too crazy. We have an extended guarantee. You need to register for 2 more years. Scan the QR code if you want to leave a review on their website. So pretty cool. And here we have it. Oh wow. Got some nice weight to it, man. This thing looks really high quality, and it's a really simple design. Like, it's just with a push of a button. This back plate here on the back, it pops out, as you can see, and that's gonna make some friction and pressure between your throttle and the handlebar so you can have control over your throttle. This is like really well designed, man. I've never seen such a cool throttle lock for a motorcycle like this one. I wouldn't even call it throttle lock because it doesn't lock the throttle at all, you know. I will call this more like a cruising control, mechanical cruising control. You can also go to their website or their YouTube channel, and they have some really cool explanation videos on how to install it. And here is the chrome one. Man, this thing looks really nice. You compare both, the shiny one. Alright, so this is basically all you're gonna get in the box. You're gonna get a few of the friction pads. We'll get to that in a second. They also include a nice torque Allen key, and they also include an spare screw just in case you lose one. A couple of alcohol pads so you can clean up where you're gonna be sticking that friction pad. But this is basically all you're gonna get in the box, along with some cool stickers and instruction manuals and guarantee registration cards and all that. So let's get into it. So I believe the first thing you wanna do is you wanna remove the first backing plate, or I don't know how you call this arm. So you want to remove that arm by pulling it from this part right here and pulling it out. And the first thing you want to do before you do anything is you want to go to your bike and see how well this fit on your throttle. And that's why we have the friction pad. Those are going to help you out to get the right friction and pressure between your throttle and the lock. It's different all type of bikes depending on the type of grip you have, the top throttle lock, but they also have like a bottom one. It fits mostly any bike or any type of grip you have on your bike. So let's go to the bike and see what friction pad fits best on my bike. You don't want to stick them down just yet, so you just want to go to the bike, you know, have them here with your hand and see how well they go. And if it's like too tight, you want to go a lower one, something that is not too thick, as you can see here. But we'll see. Let's go to the Vespa and see how well this thing fits without the pads, so you see which one we're gonna use. Let's get into it. So as you can see, I got the Coso Apollo grips. You can click up there and see how I install this on the Vespa. So as you can see, we got some space here between the throttle and the buttons control. So the first thing you want to keep in mind is that the surface, the control buttons or of the handlebar are completely smooth, because there are some bikes that have like some plastic thing from the manufacturer, and you don't want to have anything on the way where the friction pad move, because that's gonna help out the smoothness of your control, you know, when you have it locked down. Because if there's like a plastic there that is gonna like get stuck, it's not gonna make the whole system function as it is. So you want to make sure the surface where the friction pad is gonna be making contact, you want to make sure that surface is completely smooth and flat and there's not any plastic on the way or anything. So, but as far as I can see, this one is like really smooth because it's with the paint of the bike. Let's bring the ATLAS and see what friction pad it fits on the bike. Here are the friction pads, you can see. So you want to grab your ATLAS. You don't want to stick it yet, so you want to put the finger and hold it with the upper one. So you don't want to like pull them apart, because this is going to help you out for this testing and see how well it fits your throttles. You're going to be able to see that we got a gap in there. So you want to grab your biggest friction pad and try to slide it where you want to stick it, and you want to make the pad slide inside. If you're not able to slide it out without removing the backing, so as you can see, this one is like right in there. So I think I'll probably go one side with the middle one. So you want to grab the other smallest one and try to slide it in. Maybe the smallest one, because you don't want to be like too close to it, so you want to like lay it down there. See, this one's like too thick. Probably want to go with the smallest one, which I'm able to fit right in. I think this one is going to be the one I'll be using. You don't want to be making contact when the actual thing is not activated. You want to put the friction pad that you can slide it in and out. So I think this one is the one that's going to work on my bike, the smallest one. So you want to grab your cloth of alcohol that they include on the box, pretty nice, and you just want to clean that up where you're going to be sticking that. You just clean out the whole ATLAS. You just wait for the alcohol to dry. And then we can come here with one of the friction pads, remove the backing, press it in. So you probably want to let this dry. They recommend letting this cure for over 24 hours before you actually put the lock system in use, because you don't want that sticking pad, you know, to be moving around on your throttle while you're driving, because that's what's gonna hold the throttle itself in place very nicely. So let's say this is your throttle and you have the grip, you know, the rubber piece, and you have the inner plastic thing. As you can see here, this is the part that goes inside the controls, the one that you don't see, and you usually have this little gap, which is where the ATLAS is gonna sit. If you take a closer look here on the ATLAS, you can see we have these little very small teeth. See all these little teeth here, and also here on this little arm we have all these little teeth underneath here. This is gonna act as a clamp, so it's gonna clamp into your throttle. But since this is plastic, what you want to be careful when you install this is you don't put too much pressure. It can engage those little teeth in the plastic so it doesn't move around when you lock your throttle, so it's nice and secure, but at the same time it's not crushing the plastic inside your handlebar that is gonna avoid you from moving your throttle around. So that's something really important that you need to keep in mind. So you have your throttle here, you have your ATLAS, you slide it in. See on that little hole in this one, in the flat one, not in the circle one, because this is where the screw is gonna go. And then you slide this into this little gap over there where you see all those little holes, and then you push that all the way in. See, nice and firm. And you're gonna see how this section here is gonna have like a little gap more than here. This is gonna be all pressed in, and this is gonna stand out a little more. See, and this is where you want to add the screw on it. And this is the part where you want to be careful with the pressure that you apply into the screw, because as you can see, we can still move the throttle here, and as soon as we start screwing that screw in, you're gonna start to close that gap, and you see how now we cannot move it. It's nice and tight, and you see how we can still move this one around. But as you can see, if we keep going with the screw, you're gonna start to crush the throttle, and you don't want that to happen, because then your throttle is gonna get stuck when it moves. So you don't want to screw this screw right here all the way in, because it's gonna be nice and tight, you know. That's what we want to achieve, but you don't want to go too tight that deform the throttle body of your motorcycle, because then it's gonna affect the performance of your throttle. So you want to be careful with that. So all right, so once we have put the friction pad there, we let it dry for 24 hours. So you want to come here with the bike, and boom, that's it. That's how simple you install the ATLAS on your throttle. There is anything else that you have to do rather than just start using it, and it's pretty much ready to rock and roll. As you can see you're throttling, engage the button, and you can still control your throttle while it's still having in a locking position. Release, boom, completely free now. This thing is just amazing, man. See, just with the push of a button, boom, it locked pretty nicely, and it still have control. So if you want to reduce your speeds, like in an emergency brake or anything, you can just like still be able to move your throttle even when you apply, you know, some force. That's what the friction pad is for, to allow you to block the throttle but still give you the ability to move around, but still holding it into the position that you want it to be. This thing is really smart, man. Boom, release. Pretty simple, pretty amazing, pretty solid. Highly recommended, man. So I'm gonna be using this ATLAS for the next couple of months, see how it feels, see how it performs on the road. So let's give it a shot.
So I've been using the ATLAS Throttle Lock for the last few months, and to be honest, it have exceeded my expectations, you know, because I was expecting to use this throttle lock mostly when you're like on a long trip, in a long highway, or somewhere where you're gonna be spending hours on the bike, and it's mostly like a gadget that you get when you're getting ready for a long trip or something like that, you know. It's not something that you get because you like, or because you just want to have more comfort on your bike, like you do with it, like a cushion or with a windshield with a heated grip. You know, it's not the same feeling, you know. But with this ATLAS Throttle Lock, it changed the whole game, because the way this throttle lock works, I wouldn't even call it a throttle lock, because it doesn't lock your throttle at all, you know. I haven't seen any throttle lock that does this or function the same way that the ATLAS does, and I think it's a really smart design, because it's a really simple design. It's a mechanical device. There's anything complicated. The installation is extremely simple. It's compatible with all type of models and brands. I have found myself using this ATLAS Throttle Lock more than I thought I would, like on the city than on the highway, to be honest, because it's so convenient and it's so easy to use that you're gonna end up using it more than you think you would, you know, because since it's not locking your throttle at all, it's nothing to worry about, you know. I'll be back. Just gonna go really quick to ask something here and going postal. So I have found myself using more the ATLAS on the city than on the highway, and like in the slow community areas, because since it's really easy to use and enable and disable, I've been using it like an autopilot for my Vespa. So if I'm in like in a community area where I know the speed limit is really low and I'll have to maintain that for a long period of time, you know, I know there's gonna be cops around it, it's kind of like hard to maintain a slow limit speed on the motorcycle. Even if I wanna scratch my nose, I can just like enable the thing and just scratch something on my head, disable it, and boom, that's it. Even if you want to say hi to someone, hello, hey, what's up, buddy? See, you can easily enable it and disable it whenever you want to. So in my personal opinion, it's something really cool to have on your bike. It's like the heater grip. It's not something that you really need to, but it adds a little more comfort and luxury to your bike, I would say, you know. It's another gadget, it's another gimmick, and it makes your Vespa a lot more functional and nicer than it already is. I actually really like the chrome kit more than the black one. I thought I was gonna like the black one because since I have everything black on my Vespa, but the chrome one actually looks really cool on the Vespa. Kind of pop out from the bike really well. People go asking, hey, what the is that? Well, man, you gotta get to know the Atlas. If you don't have one, you should have one already. Because this thing is like really convenient. See, let's say I want to maintain the speed here. Just click it and boom, that's it. This is so cool, man. Even if I want to you know pull my sleeve back or do something with the hand, use my phone, anything, man, this is just amazing. You want to disable it, brake, signal light, boom. So for example, here the speed limit is 30 miles per hour, and I know most of the time there's always cops controlling the limit speed here. It's really slow and it's really hard to maintain on the Vespa because it's a long road, you know. If you just want to have a peace of mind and you don't want to be like paying attention to your speed and you can just enjoy your ride, you can just enable the Atlas and boom, that's it. Even though this is something that I wanted to talk about with the Vespa because it's happening right now, as you can see, is the wobbling. As most of you already know, the wobbling on the Vespa, it always happens even if you let one hand off your handlebar, as is happening right now. See, there's no way to like control it. Even if I grab the handlebar as hard as I can with my left hand, it's still doing it. I have to be going like a little faster than I'm already going right now to be able to like maintain the speed safely as I'm doing right now. See, I don't know, that wobbling on the Vespa is a weird thing that all Vespas experience, you know. Been trying to fix that with like a steering damper or something like that, but that's coming soon. I've been working on that issue, and now that I have my Atlas, see, I can let my hand off the handlebar, and I could even let my both hands on the handlebar, but it's literally impossible. See, as soon as I try to let my other hand, I'm gonna crash, you know. This thing is insane. I don't understand why the Vespa does that. It's not the tire, it's not the tire pressure, it's not the steering. Everything is in perfect condition. Everything is, the bearings are brand new. Everything is nice and greased. You know, there is anything wrong with the steering at all. It's just the infamous Vespa wobbling. But look at this, how nice this thing is. Look at that. You can say hi to people. Here's another example too. There's another community area where the speed limit is really slow. It's 25 miles per hour. So I have to go like really slow. See, I'm doing 30 right now. So when it's this slow and you're just trying to enjoy the landscape, or you're just trying to go through and it's a long way to go, it's not easy to maintain a speed limit this slow, you know. So with the Atlas, it's so easy, man. Look at that. And the coolest thing about the Atlas is this. Oh man, I'm going a little faster. Let me just reduce that. This is so cool, man. See? Oh no, I went too slow. See, this is the unique thing about this ATLAS Throttle Lock, that you can still have control over your throttle while it's still maintaining the lock position that you wanted to. So as you can see, I'm trying to ride without my right hand, so you can see that the Atlas is doing its job. But as you can see on the Vespa, it's just annoying, you know, because the wobbling on the bike is just annoying, you know. Look at that. And I have to like be pushing, because if I lose my left hand a little bit, look at that, man, it's dangerous. Well, that's also because of the weight that I have on my bike. You know, I got the tanks, the saddlebags, even though everything is empty right now, but it had some weight and it lifts the front of the scooter, and that's what makes the wobbling a lot worse than already is, you know. And see how cool I can See, accelerate, decelerate, and I still have it in a nice lock position so I can just relax. That's a good thing, you know. I can still have my hands on the handlebar. I'm going too slow, let me just like go a little faster. So cool, man, so cool. See, Waze just told me there's a cop ahead of me, so I have my ATLAS enabled so I can avoid getting in trouble with the cops. Following the law, dude, not doing anything, and 25 miles per hour. This is magic. Look at that. Isn't this amazing? Autopilot for the Vespa. that's how I'm gonna call it, the autopilot for the Vespa. This is the only thing that the wobbling is just so annoying, man. But well, man, I'm really happy with this ATLAS Throttle Lock on my Vespa. It makes my riding a lot more comfortable. It gives me a lot of peace of mind in these occasions when I'm in a community area and I want to maintain my limit speed. It's really helpful to have, you know. As you can see, I'm not using it right now, and I'm just maintaining my 25 miles per hour in this community area. So it's really convenient to have, not just for long trips and long highways so it's a really good thing to have, even if you're not planning to do a long trip, or you're
or the neighbor, or
you're one of those guys that is always hitting the highway or anything. It's just so cool to have on your bike that you can use it for so many occasions, that it's just a really functional little device for your Vespa, you know, or for any motorcycle.
Well, this is how you install the ATLAS Throttle Lock on your Vespa GT, GTS, or GTV, or even the Sprint and Primavera, or any other type of bike, pretty much. You know, this thing can fit to any bike in this world. So it's a universal mount,
or you know,
and that's why they offer the two different versions, the upper kit and the bottom kit. So you want to make sure, and you want to contact them if you're not completely sure which one fits best to your bike. So for example, in my case, for the Vespa GTV, it was better to use the bottom kit because it makes contact with the brake lever. It wasn't a really good option for the Vespa. So I believe for all Vespas GT, GTS, and GTV, you should go with the bottom kit because it's gonna provide you with a better bottom position when it's ready to be engaged, you know, because when you are like on the highway, you're usually, you know, at some angle with your throttle. So when you're gonna activate it, you want to have those buttons accessible with your finger. So with the upper kit, the buttons were like in a weird position. It was kind of dangerous to find them and activate the actual throttle lock system. It wasn't really convenient, and that's why I decided to change it for the bottom. But at first I thought it was gonna be with the top one, but it didn't work out. So if you're not completely sure with it, you can contact them and they will help you out. They will guide you through the best option for your motorcycles. But well, this is how you install the ATLAS Throttle Lock on the Vespa. It was a really simple installation. It actually takes less than 15-20 minutes, I will say. So it's just like a clamp on your throttle, and you just want to be careful with the pressure you put into the throttle so you don't exceed that and affect the performance of your throttle. So I think that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for ATLAS for sending this and sponsoring this video for the scootabout.com. We really appreciate that. Click the like button if you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more great content, and share it with your friends. See you in the next one. Thank you, peace. And of course, if you want to get yours, make sure you check down in the description below.